This year, Google, the internet search engine that connects you to virtually any information in the world, went public.
Before Google's search engine would dominate the market, handling over 1 billion searches a day, running on over 1 billion computer servers, and becoming a verb. Before the company dropped $1.65 billion to acquire YouTube in 2006, generating its own crop of web stars, some of whom earn more than traditional A-listers. Before Google's monopoly on the search market led to antitrust investigations by the US Federal Trade Commission.
Yeah, that was worse than I expected, I'll be honest.
Before two Stanford PhD students turned their research project into a brand worth $82.5 billion with over 50,000 employees.
Google makes its long-awaited debut on Wall Street. The stock soars, a worldwide phenomenon, and that clearly helped it with investors.
Before there was a film titled The Internship, which was essentially Wedding Crashers 2, but like in a rough economy, you know what I mean? Well, the story goes that Larry Page met Sergey Brin while taking a tour of Stanford University. The two began working on a project that aimed to organize the info on the World Wide Web. That's what they used to call it. They wanted to do so in a way that anyone could access it. They started working out of a friend's garage, and in 8 years were able to make their company the largest and most influential brand in technology of this millennium. My favorite thing about Google is of course YouTube, and that's why I'm able to do this for a living. And YouTube was very different before Google bought it. Let's take a look at the very first video. Yeah, this is unreal.
Cool thing about these guys is that they have really long fronts, and that's cool.
Yeah, I know. Things have changed a lot. What's going on, guys? My name's Michael McCrudden, documenting the rise of Google, here for you on Before They Were Famous. Now, I've also covered McDonald's, which has a crazy story behind it. Make sure to check that out and let me know, as always, in the comments down below what company or person you want to hear about next.
Okay, here they are. And when I hit this, they'll be able to see us.
We can see you guys.
Okay, great.
You got us?
Hi, my name is Billy.
Google was founded on September 4th, 1998 by Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Only 3 years prior, Larry was a 22-year-old U-Michigan grad looking to go to Stanford next. He went to take a tour of the campus, and Sergey was the guy who showed him around. They hit it off, and Larry enrolled for class the next semester. Trying to decide what to write his dissertation on, Larry proposed a project meant to organize and understand the numbers and complex link systems of the World Wide Web. His professor told him, "You should go for it."
There are 3 important services you can access on the internet. Surfing the World Wide Web.
Surfing? That sounds pretty cool already.
Soon Sergey was on board, and together they began to develop a search engine called Backrub. They wrote an algorithm that could comb through the internet pages and gather all their backlink data, then rank it in importance. Very important. Yeah.
What do search engines do? They search the net looking for the information you requested. Cool.
It was launched on the Stanford server and stayed there for a year until it got too big for their bandwidth. Kind of reminds me of the growth of Facebook, although that was like rating hot chicks. Anyway, let's move on. The two believed their PageRank code was valuable and began shopping it around to different search engines at the time. The company Excite showed some interest and offered to buy the algorithm for $1.6 million. Now that's a whole lot of money for grad students living off Fritos and Mountain Dew, but eventually they decided not to go through with the deal. I imagine the world would have been a very different place if they did. Excite, that one's gotta hurt. In 1997, they registered the domain name Google, a term taken from the mathematical figure of 1 followed by 100 zeros. Andy Bechtolsheim, co-founder of successful tech company Sun Microsystems, gave them $100,000 for startup money. That same month, in August of 1998, the world was witness to the first Google Doodle. But Larry and Sergey were about to head off to the Burning Man Festival in Nevada, an event that would last several days. Oh, there it is. To let people know they would be away, they put a sketch of the iconic man into their logo. Upon returning, the two incorporated the company, set up the shop in a friend's garage, and hired their first employee. By the end of the year, magazines were already praising the search engine for its innovation and relevant results compared to rivals like Yahoo, Hotbox, Excite, and Ask Jeeves. You remember that one? I do. PC Magazine picked their page as the search engine of choice in 1998. A few months later, they had outgrown their garage office and were looking to expand. Once they moved their offices to Palo Alto, they started to look like the Google offices we know today. with office dogs coming into work and company chefs to feed their Googlers. They even have like napping pods. It's ridiculous.
So basically they backed this truck in from the freight elevator and then docked it right there.
Yeah. Then on June 7th, 1999, Google announced major investors had put in equity funds totaling $25 million. Those same investors encouraged Brin and Page to take on a CEO for the company. The two hired Eric Schmidt as Google's first CEO in August of 2001. In the span of just 6 months, Google outgrew their office space again and relocated. The company was growing at an incredible rate, with their first sales team in New York and expanding the number of languages you can search to 15. Yeah, I have a hard time just working with one. The term Google, it also made its first appearance on television on the show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This was in 2002.
Have you Googled her yet?
Willow, she's 17.
Initially, Page and Brin were strongly against using ads to finance the site, but soon changed their minds and allowed simple text and advertisements through Google AdWords. It was a straightforward tool because owners of all sizes could use to advertise through target keywords and get feedback on how their ads were doing. And they were onto something really big. Google had quietly grown in size and revenue while many of its rivals fell to the wayside. While Page and Brin weren't quite ready to give up control of their company, they began talking about an initial public offering of shares. As their IPO was underway, Microsoft proposed a partnership or merger with Google, and that deal, well, it got shot down pretty quick. As the company prepared to go public in 2004, Larry and Sergey published a letter talking about their plans for the company's future called the Don't Be Evil Manifesto. Yeah, they pretty much stated they believed in doing good things for people and for the world in the long run, instead of opting for evil short-term gains and profits. And they still wanted to go to Burning Man once a year and have a bit of fun, of course. In March of 2004, they had once again outgrown their workspace and moved to their still current office called the Googleplex in Mountain View, California. In just 6 years, they had gone from working out of their friend's garage to employing over 800 people at their headquarters. The next month, on April Fool's, their favorite day, they launched Gmail, which today has over 425 million users. But good luck changing your original Gmail address. I can't figure it out.
Email. I heard that's really neat.
On August 18, 2004, Google offered 19.6 million shares of its company to the public with the opening price of $85 a share. The shares, well, they sold like hotcakes, raising $1.67 billion for the company, increasing its market value to over $23 billion and making many of its workers overnight millionaires. I should have applied. That year saw 84.7% of all search requests being put through Google, which had officially become one of the world's biggest media-related companies. And the rest of the story, well, you know it, because you're probably on it right now. This is before they were famous.
And that's pretty much all there is to say.
Now, I bet you guys want to know more about the YouTube story and its association with Google, its evolution, and we can do that for you here on Before They're Famous. Let me know if that's something you want to see. I'll be sure to get it done. Also, check out our other videos. The McDonald's one's really good. And let me know what corporation or person you want me to document in a future video. That's it. What else do I have to say? I don't know. Go find me on Instagram, McCrudden M. Alright, bye.
On your mark, get set. We're riding on the internet. Cyberspace set free. Hello, virtual reality.